Hey guys, this is Trueflight. We're back in the crew. I'm gonna do a little bit of a random rant here while I'm trying to remember how to play because it's been a while. Do a little faction run here at the side. And of course it's gonna be random, which ought to be awesome. But I have to say, I cannot believe that after all this time since Wild Run came out and the new specs were added to the game, why do we still not have classic muscle cars as drag specs? I've said it tons of times in some of my older videos. This 69 Camaro is one of my favorite cars to drive, and been one of my favorites since the game came out. Even has the wheelie bar with the parachutes for drag racing here as a bumper option. Still cannot get a drag spec for this car. I'm going to totally wreck. These wet roads are killing me. Still playing with a keyboard right now because I don't have my wheel or controller hooked up. I haven't played in a while, so I'm way out of practice, so this ought to be pretty hilarious too. But I don't understand what Ubisoft's line of thinking is, though. I mean, some specs weren't ready at the time. That's fine. Like they gave us the they gave us the RX-7. We didn't get a drift spec for that till months later. They finally added it. And I can understand that. It takes some time to program and come up with all that stuff, but the parts are already there for these muscle cars, the body parts and things. There's no need to change that. All they need to do is program in the stats for the different specs for them. It can't be that complicated of a process. I just don't understand why we're at this point and we still don't have drag racing specs for these cars. Change view. There we go. There we go. Oh, sure, it's going to dry up now, which is cool. I didn't realize how much view that supercharger blocks into your in-car camera. My other huge complaint that I've had since day one of the crew, and the reason I switched to this view is part of it, whoa, is the mirrors still don't technically work. I apologize if you can hear that stupid clock in the background. The mirror does actually show a really low-res rendition of what's around you now, so they have been improving it. It used to be just a blurred image, but at this point you can see it's the road behind me, but it doesn't render full everything that's there. You don't see cars, you don't see like the street poles there that I just passed. You don't see those. You just see a very vague glimpse at what's there. I guess you do kind of see like the shadow of the cars as they go by, which even that's an improvement. That didn't used to happen either. But how do we still not have functioning mirrors? It's just beyond me. But yeah, the non missing specs for cars is just another just absolute slap to the face to people. Oh, I saw that too late. My poor hood. I just don't understand why you would have a game like this that has those drag specs and have all these classic American muscle cars and not have drag specs for them. It's just strange. It feels really lazy on their part. Oh God. How did that not total my car? I love the rain look on the cars in this. Not so much the roads. They tend to look very strange. They get wet really quick. But the look of it actually on the windshield with the wipers is really cool. And the sounds too, you can't really tell too much from the in-car camera. And I am terrible at driving. I gotta get used to this stuff again. But in the third person camera, as you pass people, you can hear their tires splashing in the rain, and it's a really cool effect, especially if you're using headphones or surround sound. Man, I'm gonna switch back to third here so I can actually see what I'm doing. Oh, come on, stop fishtailing. High-end muscle car, big wide tires, plus rain. Oh god. That wasn't as bad as it could have been. Plus keyboard. That's not really helping me either here. The back end just wants to keep fishtailing. Come on. So normally in a situation like this, you start sliding, you use the throttle to compensate and pull yourself out of it, but when you're using the keyboard, you only have a full throttle or no throttle. Oh. Same with turning. It's either all or nothing. Anyway, I just wanted to rant about the lack of those obvious specs. I mean, they finally did deliver us the drift spec for the RX-7, but the fact that we still do not have drag specs for these cars, I don't know what they're doing out there. I mean, oh. I don't know how much longer this race has. It's been a while since I've done it. 8 miles by the look of it. I can find something to rant about for another 8 miles, I suppose. There's just so many things, little things about this game that seem like missed opportunities. They have been coming a long way towards fixing some of them. The player-made racetracks are an amazing addition. I don't think any game really has that kind of functionality these days. What's really funny is you remember back to Super Nintendo days, and I remember, I can't think of the name of it, there was Top Gear, and there was a Jaguar game for one of the later systems, XJ220 I think it was. We used to play the crap out of those games, and one of their key features was a track editor that used to be able to make your own tracks, and it was just such a cool feature. And like Forza Horizon 3 tries, they have the blueprint events where you can make your own blueprint, but basically you pick, alright, I want to start here, we're going to make this a point A to point B race, and it does it for you. So it's not quite the same. You can set up the specs, the time of day, the weather, traffic on or off, things like that, but you're not really designing the track where, whoa, that was terrible. In this game, you literally pick the checkpoints, where you want them to be, what angles you want them to be at. Granted, you are limited to 10 checkpoints. Excuse me. And it does glitch at times. You try to put them on a corner, and it puts them at weird angles and things, so you got to keep that stuff in mind. But you can spread those 10 checkpoints out wherever you want, make the map absolutely huge. You design these tracks, you save them, you get a code, you can share that code with your friends, even on other platforms of the game, and they can race the track that you design, which, wow, fail. The road is suddenly dry. I was expecting to slide a little. And yeah, I would love to see more games with more of a robust track creator. Anyway, we're just about to the end of here. Thanks for tuning in for my short rant here, and hopefully somebody from, wow, and now the road's soaking wet again. Hopefully somebody from Ubisoft will pay attention and figure out why we don't have drag specs for these muscle cars that are known for their straight line drag race ability. It's just a killer that they're not already in there. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you in the next video.